What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today I want to take a look at the pulse of America, how people are feeling about the current administration, how people are feeling about the midterm elections. That's what I want to focus on. Then at the end of this video, we're going to take a look at the 2026 midterm possible outcomes. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, you guys can do me a favor. Please like the video. If you're watching this video and you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so first off, I want to take a look. This is Real Clear Politics. We're going to take a look at some of the latest pollsters, and we're also going to take a look at the average of polls. So when it comes to President Trump's job approval, President Trump's job approval right now, and this is Real Clear Politics, and what they do is they average the polls. Right now, we're looking at a spread of minus 5.5. And if we look at disapproval here, we're at 51.4%. And then we look at approval, we're at 45.9%. Looking at a few of the individual pollsters, we have Fox News. They conducted this poll between 9/6 and 9/9. We have 1,004 registered voters. We have approval at 46, disapproval at 54. The spread there is minus 8. Looking at Rasmussen, this was conducted between 9/7 and 9/11. 1,500 likely voters, approval at 48, disapproval at 51. The spread there is minus 3. Looking at Reuters, conducted between 9/5 and 9/9, 1,084 adults, approval there 42, disapproval 56. The spread there is minus 14. Economist YouGov poll, conducted between 9/5 and 9/8. 1,487 registered voters. Approval there is at 43, disapproval at 54. The spread there is minus 11. We'll do one more. Morning consult, conducted between 9/5 and 9/7. 2,200 registered voters. Approval at 45, disapproval at 52. The spread there is minus 7. Okay, let's go ahead and do one more. RMG research, conducted between 9/3 and 9/11, 3,000 registered voters. Approval there is at 50. Disapproval is at 48. The spread there is at plus 2. So when we're looking at overall job approval, you see the vast majority of these polls that we just went over, they all have disapproval higher than approval for President Trump. And the highest level was this minus 11, and that was Economist YouGov. And then we have only one plus here, only one plus 2, and that was the RMG research. And so those are the overall job approval numbers. Now, when it comes to the president, this doesn't look good. And also the people who are running on the Republican ticket, right now it doesn't look good because the president's job approval, if the president's job approval is bad, then overall it's going to impact all those people down ballot. And so we'll have to see what happens in 2026, but I just wanted to show you that. Now, I want to get back to a few more. We're not going to go over every different category, but there are some categories that we really need to be focused on. So let's take a look at those. Okay, now we're looking at the president's job approval when it comes to the economy. Now, looking at Real Clear Politics, their average here is the spread is minus 14. We have disapproval at 55.1. We have approval at 41.1. And looking at some of the latest pollsters, we have Fox News. This was conducted between 9/6 and 9/9. 1,004 registered voters. Approval at 39. Disapproval at 60. The spread there is minus 21. This should tell you a lot here. If you're looking at Fox News, you know Fox News leans right. And then when we look at the poll, we see that approval at 39. That is really low. I mean, we're looking at 60-40 here, basically. Disapproval, 60%, minus 21. Okay, so let's look at a few more. Morning consult. This was conducted between 9/6 and 9/8. 2,201 registered voters. Approval at 42. Disapproval at 50. The spread there is minus 8. I'll look at a couple more. Economist YouGov, conducted between 9/5 and 9/8. 1,487 registered voters. Approval at 40, disapproval at 55. The spread there is minus 15. Okay, now let's look at the president's job approval when it comes to inflation. Now, inflation, I think this is going to be the deciding factor in the 2026 midterms. Why? because this is something people feel every day. When you go to the grocery store and you have to pay more, that is going to be on your mind. When you go to the gas station and you have to pay more, that is also going to be on your mind. And the reverse of that is if you go to the grocery store and prices are much cheaper, that's going to be on your mind come election time. The same thing with gas prices. That's going to be on your mind. And so because of that, right now, inflation is not good, right? Inflation is it's starting to creep back up. And people are still saying that grocery prices groceries are too expensive. Even gas hasn't, right now gas is pretty much leveled off, but it's still expensive. It hasn't dropped dramatically. And so let's go ahead and take a look at Real Clear Politics first, approval, disapproval, and then we'll look at some of the individual pollsters. So we have the spread here at minus 20.2. This is the highest spread. Out of all the categories that we go over, this is the highest spread that we've seen. Disapproval is at 59.1. Approval is at 38.9. We have the latest pollsters, Economist YouGov, conducted between 9/5 and 9/8. 1,487 registered voters, approval at 35, disapproval at 61. The spread there is minus 26. What I find interesting here is, okay, Fox News is down here. This is a poll that was conducted before, but they just did a poll, and I don't see inflation on their latest poll, which is interesting. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and take a look at CBS News. CBS News, this was conducted between 9/3 and 9/5. We have 2,385 adults, approval 36, disapproval 64. The spread there is minus 28. Looking at the Harvard-Harris poll, conducted between 8/20 and 8/21, 2,025 registered voters, approval there at 41, disapproval at 59. The spread there is minus 18. And then we have RMG Research, conducted between 8/18 and 8/19, 1,000 registered voters. We have approval at 46, disapproval at 48. The spread there is minus 2. So just looking at the latest pollsters, and then if you can look at all the pollsters here, you see double digits with every pollster except for one. That was the RMG Research. That's minus 2, but everything else, we're double digits. I mean, minus 26, minus 28, minus 18, minus 23, minus 26, minus 11. Minus 28. And this is the ball game when it comes to the 2026 midterm elections. If the current administration is not able to get inflation down, then we're going to be looking at a situation where we could see a blue wave, because you have a lot of people right now that are not happy. They are not happy with the current situation when it comes to inflation, when it comes to our economy, and when it comes to the president's overall job approval. And so looking at inflation, if inflation continues to be high, if people are paying more at the grocery store, more at the gas stations, they are going to look at the current administration. They're going to look at the Republicans that are in the House right now and in the Senate, and they are going to blame them for inflation. And so that's something that we're going to have to keep an eye on. But right now, taking a snapshot of the last week, this is how the American people are feeling when it comes to inflation. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these House seats. We're using 270 to win. And right now, this is how they have it laid out based on the latest polling. We have 21 toss-up seats. So you have 21 toss-up seats. Republicans right now are at 212. Democrats are at 202. You need 218 to take control of the House. And so just looking at this, it would look like, okay, Republicans do have the advantage because they already have 212. But we do need to look at these toss-up seats. And so that's what we're going to start doing. We'll get more in depth looking at the toss-up seats. Now, this is showing the redistricting for Texas already. However, California, they haven't shown the new redistricting in California because we're waiting for November for after that election, that special election, to see if Californians will adopt this new redistricting. And then we also have other states that will be redistricting. So it's going to be a little bit hard right now to really go over everything, but I wanted to just show you some of the seats that are considered toss-ups right now. So you have a couple of seats in Arizona. These are considered toss-up seats. And then you also have one in California, California 13, that's considered a toss-up seat. Now with redistricting, will that change? And will that move to a lean Democrat or strong Democrat seat? Moving down here, we have another California seat, California 45, that is considered a toss-up. And then moving down, we have Iowa. We have a toss-up seat there with Meeks. And then in Maine and Michigan, you also have toss-up seats. And so I just kind of want to give you an idea of what's going on when it comes to the House. Now, I took a look at some of the different predictions right now, and Democrats still do have the advantage overall when it comes to taking back. If you look at the generic ballot, Democrats they're about +3 right now. And so they do have an advantage to taking back the House in 2026. But we have to see what's going to happen with redistricting and then also with these toss-ups. As we get closer to the election, we'll find out more information about the candidates and who's strong and who's not strong. And looking at the Senate races, as it stands right now, Republicans do have an advantage. Right now, if you're just looking at this map with the 3 toss-up states that we have here, this is based on the latest polling, Republicans are at 52, Democrats are at 45, and then we have these 3 seats that we need to fill in. And I've said this before, even if you fill in these seats with Democrats, so let's say Democrats win North Carolina and Ossoff is able to win in Georgia, and then in Michigan, a Democrat wins, then we're still looking at the majority going to Republicans. I'll have 52, Democrats have 48. And I think when it comes to the Senate, what we're going to see is Republicans will probably be able to maintain control of the Senate, but in 2028, it'll be challenging for them to maintain control. So this is going to be something that Democrats are looking at. Okay, yes, we need to take back the House, but when it comes to the Senate, we might not be able to take back the Senate, but we can position ourselves in a place where we can take back the Senate in 2028. And so let me just show you the latest polling when it comes to the generic ballot in the House. I talked a little bit about it. I said it was +3. Right now it's at +3.3. That's the average. And so we're looking at the average of all the different pollsters. And if you look at the latest poll, Economist YouGov, that was conducted between 9/5 and 9/8, 1,487 registered voters. Democrats 44, Republicans 40, so that's +4. And if you go all the way down to July, late July, you see Democrats, you see all blue here. You see only 1 tie, and that was the Emerson poll. And so the most recent pollsters are showing that Democrats do have an advantage to take back the House in 2026. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think about all this? Do you think Democrats will be able to take back the House? Do you think they'll be able to take back the Senate? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. So that's all we have for this video. Make sure if you guys want to send me an email, you can do that, david@thetecshow.com. Like the video, subscribe for more, and check out these videos over here for some more great content. Talk to you later. Bye.